everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. Today I'm going to be showing you around downtown Seattle, showing you all the places that you can't miss. I'll be staying in Woodinville, Washington with my little sister for the next few days. We're going to show you a little bit of the best of both worlds with the hikes, the city life, and everything in between. So let's get to it. So we hopped in the Jeep and drove south towards Seattle. First stop was the famous Pike Place Market. We got there when they were closing up, so we got to see it, but not in full swing. That's something I'm going to try not to miss next time. It was still really fun to walk around and see some of the unique vendors that were still open though. I thought the lower levels of the market were kind of funny because the hallways and floors reminded me of my elementary school. Next, we headed out towards Pike Place, and there were so many restaurants and bars I would have loved to stop in, but we got lucky to find an open seat at the popular speakeasy, the Pinky Door. We split some delicious mussels and clams, a glass of wine, and a divine cappuccino that ended up taking to go so we could explore a bit further into the city. We wanted to walk around to sober up a bit, so I don't regret going into the city necessarily. However, there wasn't anything special in my opinion, and there are some parts of town to avoid. We ended up walking through some department stores to get some steps in before making it back towards the shoreline for golden hour. The city had some amazing sculptures and lots of character. I am a sucker for boats, so one of my favorite parts was definitely walking around all of the docks. We couldn't leave without getting up close to the Seattle Great Wheel or walking through Miners Landing. I just picture this part of town being super cozy during rainy season. After passing the aquarium, we headed out to a floating dock off a pier to watch the sunset and witnessed a beautiful proposal, and there was even a public cornhole and a mini soccer field on that pier. Oh, and we were able to see the Space Needle from the dock as well, so that was just icing on the cake. That wrapped up our afternoon in the city, so after a quick photo op, we headed back to the parking garage to head home. Sit. Stay. Stay. Good boy, Zion. Good boy. Good morning, everybody. Today is a new day. I spent the majority of this morning and this early afternoon editing a video, and it's now uploading at my sister's apartment, and she's at work. So I just stepped out of the house for the first time, besides walking the dogs, to get some coffee at this little place called Sidekick Coffee. The rest of today, my sister and I are going to take the dogs for a little walk around downtown Woodinville, maybe go shopping. It will be a very nice contrast to our day yesterday, going into the city, and the day before driving here. We headed out to a park right outside of town called Wooden Creek Park. It was so lush, which is something I'm not used to coming from California. They had tennis courts, beautiful trees, and lots of active people on bikes and on foot. The walkway was lined with miles of wild blackberries, which reminded me of home in the Northeast. After we tired the dogs out, we headed into Woodinville, which was absolutely adorable. But we ended up dropping the dogs off at home and headed back out to the one and only trendy bar in town, the Cut Shop. The drinks were tasty, the food was greasy, as dive bar food should be, but the aesthetic was so cute. We ended up sharing some apps, then sitting outside to finish our drinks by the fire before calling it at night and headed home. I started the next morning by heading into Seattle's University Village to do some shopping and to see a bit more of town. I got a couple of things at Anthropology for fall, and Tate and I got a nice walk-in as well. After shopping and going for a walk, I met my sister for lunch at Dozone, a local dumpling chain. We split a few different things on the menu and it was absolutely delicious and I would go there again. This next spot I think was my absolute favorite spot of the entire trip, Chateau Saint Michel. We spent hours walking the acres of grounds with our dogs through the gardens, vineyards, and tasting room. I love that they gave us actual glasses to roam around with, and overall it was just a beautiful place with super friendly people. They even have concerts with massive acts like the Goo Goo Dolls and Kelsey Ballerini, but unfortunately my trip did not coincide with any of these events. We still had such a fun time though, and I definitely recommend stopping in. After we finished up at Chateau Saint Michel, we stopped in the grocery store on the way home, cooked some pizza and salads to enjoy on the balcony, and it was such a lovely end to the day.
There's one. Thank you.
We started the next morning at a local coffee drive-thru. The coffee was good, but they gave the pups the cutest pup cups with whipped cream, treats, and peanut butter, so that was definitely a great start to the day. Next, we drove about 45 minutes east to Wallace State Park to hike the falls. It was already pretty crowded when we got there around 9:30 in the morning, so we were lucky to find parking. However, the trails were still serene and beautiful, and we had such a great morning adventure. The hike itself was just a little under 3 miles to get to the upper falls, and the terrain wasn't too bad into the last quarter mile. It was so beautiful. The footage I have of this place does not do it justice. You have to go see it for yourself. Well, that just about concludes today's video. If I missed any of your favorite things to do around the Seattle area or Kings County, please comment below so I could hit it next time. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Turn post notifications on so you can know when my videos come out. Be the first to watch them, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.